It's the regional finals, the final 8 teams in the state here. You got the Mason Comets against the Moeller Crusaders. Comets coming in as the number 2 seed in Cincinnati. The Crusaders number 1 seed. I'm Evan Amazon, joined by Ben Howler, and man, just what a great game this should be.
Yep, and this is the anticipated matchup everyone was waiting for. Comets, the 2 seed in Cincinnati, Moeller, the 1 seed. And if you look at the latest state rankings, it's the same. Moeller, the 1 seed, or Moeller number 1, and Mason number 2.
The girls going to look at strike 1, and then the winner of this game will move on and go to Akron for the state Final Four. So Brendan Grula, the leadoff hitter for the Comets, coming in at 356 average, 15 RBIs. Been a solid hitter all year. He's kind of a middle-of-the-order guy. Just got moved up to that leadoff role in the postseason. And he'll take a look at another strike here. So he's behind in the count, 1-2. The pitcher for the Crusaders is Toby Huber, coming on the year, 9 games, 9-0, 44 strikeouts with a 1.4 ERA. So he's been dominant. And Gruel is going to line this one the other way for an opposite field hit. And Brandon Gruel getting the Comets started off right. Just took what the pitcher gave him, just lined one into right, and man, picture perfect start for the Comets.
That's a good piece of hitting there for Brendan Garula, lining that into right field. And he struggled a little bit last night, and you could tell he was really frustrated with himself in his performance at the plate. But he did make that really nice catch in right field. That could have been a game-saving play, season-saving play as well. Rob Tybeck of extra bases at least with a man on.
Now it's going to be the third baseman, A.J. Lefton. The first pitch into him is high, but will be called for strike 1 taken. He's coming on with a 296 average, 7 RBIs, 9 stolen bases. Plays some third base, plays some second. Kind of does it all for the Comets defensively. And that's a breaking ball that's low from Huber, so the count will be 1-1. Grula on first with no outs. Comets trying to strike first early.
Yeah, Blythe's really experimented with this the batting order for the Comets. They've struggled. They struggled at the end of the year offensively. Blythe thought maybe a batting order change would change things, and we've seen a few already in the playoffs.
So righty on righty here. Huber fires into Lefton. That's going to be another high pitch, but Garula almost got gunned by the catcher, Manley, for the Crusaders. Just a little bit of too far of a leadoff. Almost got caught napping on the base paths. Barely able to get his hand back in there. So lucky break there for the Comets. That could have been bad. This count will be 2-1 to Lefton. And again, a breaking ball just above the strike zone there.
That was a close one, and we saw a very big strike zone from the umpire last night in the regional semifinal game, and this one looks squeezed a little bit.
And Lefton's going to take inside for ball 4, so Huber has not missed by much, but a good job by A.J. Lefton being patient. So now the Comets have first and second with no outs, and here comes the sophomore slugger, Jake Hanley, coming in the year, 352 average, 18 RBIs with a couple homers as well. And this might be the guy you want up right now if you're the Comets. You got the heart of the order coming up, a perfect opportunity to get on the lead first. And this is a game that many anticipated to be a low-scoring game. So, I mean, a run just means so much in this spot.
Yeah, especially early. If you can get to these pitchers with guys like Garula and Huber on the mound for their respective teams, it's hard. They're going to be really good at settling in.
And then a ground ball on to second base. It was a slow grounder there. They'll take the fielder's choice. So Hanley will get into first. Lefton thrown out at second. Saw contact by Hanley. Unfortunately, just didn't get up the middle, but it does advance the runners. First and third, 1 out, and Michael Murphy will be up. 360 average, leads his team. 30 RBIs. That leads his team by a ton, and 3 homers. So he's really been the most productive hitter all year long for the Comets.
Yeah, and he's a guy who doesn't strike out a whole lot, which is big in a situation like this. Only 1 out with a runner on third in a game like this.
He's going to take first pitch high, 1-0. You got Hanley on first, Garula on third. and that's going to be down the line. Michael Murphy down the third base line into left field, and the Mason Comets strike first. Murphy with his 31st RBI in the year, and Brendan Garula will score. He got out in front and just lined that one right past the third baseman Schmidt, and just like that, the Comets take a 1-0 lead, and still looking for more here with first and second and only one out, as Alex Kelling will step in. 239 average, 13 RBIs, and he's really broken out all year long. A lot of power.
And the Comets' bats were absolutely silenced last night. You just had a feeling there was a chance they could break through, but it's a really good pitcher like Huber on the mound for Moeller. This is huge for their confidence getting to him early.
And the first pitch will be taken for strike one. And Kelling will take the fastball on the outside corner. Now even up the count at 1-1. Hanley on second after grounding the fielder's choice. Murphy on first after the RBI single.
Kelling's been hot and cold sometimes this year.
And Kelling makes hard contact, but will go to the second baseman. On to second. That will be a double play. It's a 4-6-3 double play. Will end the inning. But the Comets do get a run, and they take an early lead, 1-0 after the top of the first. We're back here from the Midland Baseball Complex as the Mason Comets struck first with a 1-0 lead on an RBI single by the junior Michael Murphy. And now will be Brendan Garula coming on the mound for the Comets, and he's really been dominant all year.
Yeah, 8-0 record, sub-2 ERA. The University of Cincinnati commit. He's got a nasty breaking ball, and he's pitched 2 gems so far in the state tournament. That perfect game against Western Brown, that was the talk of the town, and this is his third tournament appearance.
Yeah, he doesn't have a ton of velocity on his pitches, but his slider, like you mentioned, Ben, one of the hardest pitches to hit probably in the city here, and it's going to be C.J. Richard who will try to bump, but he'll pull it back and take ball one. C.J. Richard, 329 average, 23 RBIs and 20 stolen bases. All these Crusaders, they're a team that likes to steal bases, take advantage of any defensive mistakes the other team makes.
Yeah, a leadoff bunt, often rare.
And now it'll be popped up into right field. Krukenberg under it. He'll make the catch. So Richard will fly out to Krukenberg, and that will be out number 1. Good start for the Comets.
Richard has a ton of speed on the base paths. And that's why you saw him with a leadoff bunt. Very rare a lot of times.
Now first pitch to Huber will be taken inside for ball 1. Huber, 325 hitter, 19 RBIs, a home run with 22 stolen bases. I mean, every one of this Crusaders lineup up and down is more than capable of getting on base, and a good pitch from Garula. And Toby will take that one for strike 1.
And Huber against Garula. This is the pitcher-pitcher matchup. Very rare you see two-way players as good as both of them, but the leadoff hitter and the number 2 hitter for their respective teams.
And Garula's breaking ball there will skip into the dirt. So the count will be 2-1 to Huber. Garula delivers, and it's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. A little bobble there from Sulik, and he'll fire on over to Hanley, and a nice job by Sulik, sticking with it there. Great defensive play, and that was a close one. Huber almost beat that, but good job by Sulik not giving up on the play. So now there's 2 down already. Now Nate Early, the 3-hole hitter, will step into the box.
Yeah, that looked dangerous for Sulik. He bobbled it at first, was able to get and regain it, and Sulik has been really improved defensively this year. Only a sophomore, he has a bright future.
So now lefty on lefty matchup there as Early will take that one on the outside corner for strike 1. Man, that slider just great against lefties. It looks like it's coming right at you, right down the plate, but he's able to catch the outside corner. Very tough pitch to hit. And again, Gruel will fire another breaking ball in for strike 2. This time Early will look on it. So one more strike for the Comets to get out of the first inning.
And you're starting to see the confidence from Brendan Garula. He's working pretty fast as well, working in those fastballs and breaking balls. Good job of mixing up his pitches.
Garula, strikeout heavy pitcher. And he throws outside a fastball taken by Early. So the count will be 1-2. Garula likes to typically work pretty fast on the mound as well. You don't see him dancing around too much. He's just all business out there. That's going to be a foul ball off a fastball. Early a little behind on it there.
And Garula is a guy who's very methodical in every aspect of pitching, in terms of his warm-ups, in terms of his routine before each pitch. And like you said, he works quick.
And that's high there. Taken by Early, dropped by Bly. So luckily for the Comets, no Crusaders on base there. That would have been a free 90.
And Bly always talks about limiting those free 90s. Mason gave up a few of those last night.
And Garula, breaking ball, kind of cuts inside as Early ducks out of the way. So just like that, it was an 0-2 count. Now it's full to Early, able to work back in with his 596 OBP. So this guy knows how to get on base.
And that's something that Moeller does really well, get on base. It's not always the powerful hitters that Moeller has, but the depth in the lineup. There's no one that stands out to you like crazy.
And now Early, ground ball to the second baseman, Stroud. He'll throw it into Hanley, so a 1-2-3 inning for the Mason Comets. And they will take a 1-0 lead going into the top of the second. And we're going to take a quick break here. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Batavia, Ohio, the Midland Baseball Complex for the Comets and the Crusaders, the 1 and 2 seed in Cincinnati. And Mason already off to an early 1-0 lead, and leading off the inning here is Sean Krukenberg, absent from the lineup last night. He's issued ball 1 on the outside corner.
Yeah, Krukenberg's been a really solid contributor this year for the Comets with his .437 OBP, 11 RBIs, a guy who stepped up as well as Kelling in that varsity role.
He's issued 2 early balls out, one on the outside corner, a couple of breaking balls that have gotten away from Huber. And he's Krukenberg ahead in the count now, 2-0. Righty on lefty matchup favorable for Krukenberg. The 2-0 pitch in there, just caught the top of the zone.
That's a good take from Krukenberg there. I think that's the right call on the top of the plate, but forced Huber to throw strikes.
And the 2-1 delivery is fouled off by Krukenberg. That one, no question, that was in the zone. Krukenberg had no choice but to fight it off.
I think that one was coming from my head, Ben. It's a good thing we had a net in front of us there to stop that.
I think I saw you get scared a little bit too.
Yeah, man. I mean, I flinched a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Count is now even for Krukenberg. The 2-2 just a little high. That one looked very similar, that fastball to the strike that they called earlier, but it's full now.
Yeah, Huber's had a little trouble locating his fastball early, but he's getting closer and closer to the zone on every pitch.
The payoff is nailed into center field. Richards going to have to go back. That's over Richards' head. Krukenberg will get at least 2. They're going to hold him up at second and a leadoff double Sean Krukenberg.
Wow, just a beautiful swing by Krukenberg, driving through the ball all the way into center field by that 385 sign. And a stand-up double. And that's what the Comets are doing. They're getting people on base early in the inning, and that's what you need to do. It's a simple game. Get people on base early in the inning, you're likely to score a run. So another great opportunity here for the second baseman, Nick Stroud.
And last night, a lot of the productivity from the Comets Warriors regional semifinal game came with 2 outs. Mason doing a lot of damage early in innings. They had a chance in the first for more, but they got into a double play. Stroud will go around a bunt. That'll be right at the first baseman. He'll tag him out, but Krukenberg does get up to third. And once again, the Comets have a runner on third with only 1 out.
I really like the decision for the Comets coaching staff there. Just moves Krukenberg to third. We're playing small ball, because this game is supposed to be a low-scoring game, especially when you have Brendan Grula on the mound with an ERA barely above 1. He's not going to give up tons of runs, so just get him over and get him in. So now a sac fly will do the job here and give the Comets a 2-0 lead.
And they do have a good contact hitter up, Brady Bly. First pitch, he skies back, foul. And anything in the air deep enough in the outfield or maybe a slow grounder could score. Krukenberg has got a lot of speed over at third.
Yeah, Bly hits 300, so like you mentioned, just contact is essential here. Any way you can get it, ground ball could score him too. The infield, not really, infield playing a little bit in on the corners, but not too far.
The 1-1, that is up. Center fielder coming over, Richard will grab that. They're going to send Krukenberg, and there's going to be no play at the plate. Comets score their second. Brady Bly doing exactly what he needs to do. Comets 2-0 lead.
And the Comets are coming to play today. Last game against Lebanon, we touched on it. They were down 3-0 early and had to dig themselves out of a hole. But the exact opposite is happening today. The Mason Comets are playing great early, giving themselves a 2-0 lead, and kind of hopefully it's calming the nerves a little bit, taking a little pressure off them early. Now here's the 9-hole hitter, Kevin West.
West, the guy we always talk about. He has a great story. Struggled a lot offensively last year at the plate. And he's going to drill one down the left field line. It's going to be a chase for the left fielder to get over there, but that one is out of play. Just a long strike.
Yeah, great swing by West.
0-2 is the count now on Kevin West with 2 strikes. Going to have to protect. Little different situation now with no one on base. And the 9-hitter up. Huber already given up 2 runs. The deal. Check swing from West. The appeal, they do say he went around, and that is how the second top of the second ends, but not before Comets get another. They lead 2-0 over the Moeller Crusaders heading to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second here from Midland Baseball Complex. The Crusaders will come up to the plate and try to erase the 2-0 deficit. Brendan Garula steps back on the mound for the Comets.
It was a 1-2-3 inning last time from Garula with a pop out and a couple ground outs. Just looking to continue that here.
Here's Nate Manley. He's issued strike number 1 on the top part of the zone, batting .320 on the year.
Now another pitch from Garula, and Manley will take that one looking, so it's 0-2 now to the cleanup hitter for the Crusaders.
.419 on base percentage, but 21 RBI. He's second on the team in RBI, and he's issued ball number 1. Garula lost control of that one. Very interesting stat for Moeller. Their leading RBI man is their leadoff hitter. Very rare.
That just shows how up and down, how good this lineup is from top to bottom.
The 1-2 pitch is low, almost hit Manley, and counts even now.
And everybody in their lineup has 8 or more stolen bases as well, so they like to run when they get on.
Delivery from Gula, smacked into center field. West having to go back. He's at the wall, and he will make the catch at the warning track. Warning track power for Nate Manley, but that's the first out.
Yeah, loud out there, but it's still an out. And Kevin West he's got a great glove out there in center, and that's just a routine routine fly ball for him, and makes it look easy there, and not one out. So 4 up, 4 down. Still no strikeouts from Garula, but we'll take him any way you can get him.
Yep. And here's Charlie Niehaus, shortstop for this squad, over 500 on base percentage. And the Crusaders have 3 of those guys with over 500 on base. The kind of dominance that is to be able to get on base more than half the time. And Garula puts one right in the corner of the zone, a filthy breaking ball, a 1-1 count now on Niehaus.
Well, so far those OBPs have been dropping today, and Comets hope that trend continues.
The 1-1 is smacked into right field now. It'll be Krukenberg. Doesn't even have to take a step, and he corrals that one in for out number 2. 2 fly balls to start this inning.
Again, for Manley and Niehaus, not bad contact, but just unfortunately for them, both of them got under it a little bit and hit it almost directly at West and then Krukenberg. So a little bad luck, but they are making contact on Garula. That's more than some teams can say this year.
There's 2 outs with no one on here. Stepping up to the plate, Blaine Schmidt, the third baseman, batting .300 on the year. He's issued strike number 1 on the outside corner. And the second pitch, grounder right at Lefton. Lefton will throw in time for out number 3. 6 up, 6 down for Brendan Garula. We'll head to the third inning. Comets lead 2-0 in the regional finals.
So we're back here in the top of the order for the Comets as Brendan Garula steps in. Scored the Comets run in the first inning after lining one into right field. He'll take the first pitch looking for strike 1.
And Garula really got it started for the Comets. He scored their first run, like you mentioned, on that single.
And a breaking ball just misses the plate from Garula. And Huber again fires in. Garula will foul this one off. Another breaking ball. And now he's behind in the count. 1-2. If you're just joining us, the Comets have a 2-0 lead. 1 in the first and 1 in the second. And that's where we are on the top of the third. Moeller does not have a base runner this game as well. And Huber will bounce that one in the dirt, even up the count at 2s.
And both the first and the second for the Comets in the top halves were started by leadoff base hits. Brendan Garula led the game off with a single, then Krukenberg led the second inning off with a double.
And a really nice breaking ball there. And Garula will swing at that one. Manley playing around a little bit with Garula to hit the dirt. Then Garula started to run, but he'll just throw on to first. So that will be the second strikeout of the game. 2 consecutive strikeouts for Huber.
Yeah, maybe he's starting to settle in a little bit, get more confidence.
Now here's A.J. Lefton. He worked a walk his first time up, but then got thrown out at second on the fielder's choice from Hanley.
That's something Mason did really well last night, is work a lot of walks, get base runners, and eventually that paid off. They didn't need a whole lot of base hits. They won on a wild pitch.
So Lefton will take the fastball strike down the middle, but it's still 2-1. Early working, or excuse me, Huber working there fast on the mound. A little too fast there, so it's a low breaking ball, 3-1. And a fastball here, Lefton takes for strike 2. So we're seeing a little bit of a pattern here. Huber's been able to locate his fastball better throughout the game, but his breaking balls, he's been missing low for the most part.
There haven't been a whole lot of high pitches. I mean, maybe it's just.
And A.J. Lefton will take the 3-2 fastball and hit that one in between the shortstop and third baseman into left field. So Lefton having a really nice outing so far for the Comets with a walk and a single. And now 1 on, 1 out for the 3-hole hitter, Jake Hanley.
That's a really nice piece of hitting there from A.J. left and right between the shortstop. They were shifted a little over that way, but he still hit it just hard enough to get it past the shortstop.
Hanley will take that one on the outside corner for strike one. A righty on lefty matchup here. And Hanley will ground that one to the third baseman. Will throw on to second, get left in, and the throw is low and will skip into the dirt. So Hanley will be safe at first. So another fielder's choice from Jake Hanley, as Lefton will have to run on in to the dugout. Good play by the third baseman, Schmidt.
Yeah, Hanley hasn't been himself recently, especially in the playoffs. He had a really great year, hitting over 300 with an on-base percentage of .483, 18 RBI. But the playoffs have just looked a little different to him. As a sophomore, when you're that young, it's always hard to play in big spots like that. But we know his potential. He played well in the playoffs last year as only a freshman.
Yeah, the IU commit, Jake Hanley, stands on first. And now Michael Murphy with his team leading 31 RBIs. He picked up his 31st in the first inning, and he'll ground that one to short. Niehaus not able to field it cleanly, and he'll just have to eat it. So probably rule that one an infield single there from Murphy, because it was very hard hit. So Michael Murphy 2 for 2 with an RBI, and this Comets team overall, top to bottom, it's just been playing fantastic so far. Couldn't really ask for much more.
Yeah, I'd rule that one a base hit as well. Niehaus took him a while to get over there. That one was very far from him. On the other side of second base, it's always a tough play for the shortstop to make.
Alex Kelling grounded out to an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play in the first inning. Now he's up with 2 outs. Runners on first and second, trying to extend the lead. And Kelling will take ball 2. The Crusaders fans not happy about that one. So it will be on the outside corner.
Yeah, like I said, yesterday there was a very big strike zone from the umpire. Tonight it's been squeezed a little bit. Not favorable for Huber and Garula.
So Kelling will take the 2-1 fastball for strike one. So Huber takes a deep breath. We'll fire it on in to Manley. And really good contact up the middle from Kelling, but it's bobbled by Niehaus. And the shift gets the Comets there. Kelling hit that one hard up the middle, but they were shifted on the lefty, and so Niehaus bobbled it, but was able to step on second base to the Comets. Couple runners on, not able to get him home, but still another pretty productive inning offensively, and we're going to take a quick break here. Comets lead 2-0 through 2.5. We're back here as the Comets have a 2-0 lead, and we got to give a big shout out to our executive producer, Dylan Minogue, and he just graduated 4th grade. He's a 5th grader, and he's running our broadcast. I mean, he knows more than I do. Like I think I have the easy job, and he's making the hard stuff look easy there running the scoreboard. So big shout out to him, youngest member in sports radio history.
Yeah, that title used to belong to Andrew Little. He always talked about how in 6th grade he joined and did some Twitter for Mason Sports Radio. But Dylan now going into the 5th grade. He's only 10 years old, and he is running this broadcast tonight. So big shout out to him. Got a bright future, Dylan.
He's a 5-star recruit for the future in broadcasting.
I hope we can keep him in Mason.
24/7 sports.
I know some Moeller fans are probably listening out here. They're going to want to poach him, but I think he's staying in Mason Sports Radio.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so. I mean, he's doing a very impressive job, and so is Brendan Gruhl on the mound. And because he's thrown 2 strikes in, but then even up the count at 2-2. And this will be Griff Cady, the left fielder, who's hitting .268 on the year, 20 RBIs, 8 stolen bases. So Gruhl has not a lot of base runner, but also has not gotten a strikeout yet. Looking for his first here, and Cady will line that one into the left field line, and it will be a foul ball. So Griff Cady really got a hold of that one, and that was in deep back in the alley in left field. And the Comets, again, a little bit of a break. Gruhl has pitched well, but there's been some definitely hard contact outs that the Comets just have kind of been right place, right time so far.
Yeah, and that's where Mason's defense really steps in, too. There's been some nice plays made. Kevin West made a nice play on the run. We saw Anthony Sulik bobble a ball and still make the play on a speedy runner. And it's not just Gruhl, it's 9 guys defensively.
Cady again, a little ahead on the breaking ball. We'll foul this one down the third baseline. This time, not as hard as contact there. Just dribbled that one. So we'll be 2-2 to the left fielders. Gruhl delivers, and he gets him swinging. A really nice breaking ball from Gruhl as Cady gets sent down. 7 up, 7 down in the first strikeout for number 5. And Gruhl is picking up right where he left off.
And Gruhl has really been bringing his best stuff tonight. That curve ball that made him so popular, just in the dirt. It started on the lower part of the zone. Cady had to offer at it, and it was just too far out of his reach to hit.
Now will be the second baseman, Connor Christensen, hitting .329, 410 OBP, 13 RBIs. Like you mentioned before, the bottom of this order, guys, still have very solid stats on the year. And that's going to be a 1-1 count now to Christensen. The winner of this game will play Grove City.
They beat New Albany, so no repeat state champions this year. New Albany took it last season.
Yeah, and Grove City only the 4 overall seed in that Columbus region, so a team that wasn't really expected to go there, but so impressive for them. And it's going to be a foul ball from Christensen, makes it a 2-2 count. Gruhl looking for another punch out here. So the second baseman.
And usually you'll see more strikeouts towards the bottom of the lineup, but we've talked about it a couple times. The bottom of this Crusader lineup isn't necessarily that much less talented than the top here.
And a pitch from Gruhl. It's going to be a slow dribbler to the second baseman. Bobbled a little bit by Stroud, but he'll throw on over to Hanley to get the out. And again, we mentioned it before, Sulik kind of bobbled one, Stroud kind of bobbled one there, but sticking with the play and still getting the out.
But that one was a little more scary. Christensen has a little more speed there, but Stroud just unfazed with that one. He bobbled it, didn't try to rush it. We saw last night a play happen like that for Lebanon, and it ended up costing them 2 more bases. But Stroud with nice patience defensively and getting the job done.
So now Keelan Daniel will be the 9-hole hitter, the lefty. I think .357, 514 OBP with 12 steals, likely hitting 9th here because of that lefty-on-lefty matchup against Gruhl. And now 2 strikes already as Gruhl gets ahead of the count. But a high fastball there, check swing. They'll say Daniel wins, so Gruhl now fire 0-2, breaking ball. Daniel will line this one into shortstop. And, it is caught by the left fielder, Kelling. A collision there from Sulik and Kelling. That was kind of in the no man's land with a shortstop, left fielder, and center fielder. And luckily, Kelling was able to catch that one, and no one got hurt. So 9 up, 9 down for Brendan Gruhl. And the Comets take a 2-0 lead going into the top of the 4th.
Welcome back to Midland Baseball Complex here on the side of Batavia, Ohio, in the side of the regional finals. Comets have a 2-0 lead. It'll be Sean Krukenberg starting off the inning. He started off the second with a double.
Yeah, Krukenberg really got a hold of that one. Probably the hardest hit ball all night. And that 385 in center field. If he hit that one to left or right, probably would have been a homer.
Huber starts Krukenberg with a 1-1 count, a couple of fastballs, one missed, and that breaking ball's in the dirt for ball number 2. Krukenberg ahead now. Krukenberg was not in the lineup last night. 3-1's the count now. That almost hit Krukenberg. That was in the dirt. And Huber has lost another one. Going to have to get him back. 3-1 count. The 3-1 delivery smacked in the gap. That's right to the right fielder. Krukenberg will be held at first, but another leadoff single for Sean Krukenberg. And maybe he had something to say about being left out of the lineup last night.
I was just going to say that, Ben. If the Comets, potentially if they move on to the state Final Four, I don't think Krukenberg's going to be left out of the lineup anymore. A single, double, and he's just hitting the ball hard, too. That wasn't just a little dribbler that got through the second and first baseman. That was a shot into right field.
So here is Nick Stroud. The first time up, lay down a sacrifice bunt. There's another sacrifice bunt fielded by the pitcher again. And this inning started to look identical to the second. He gets thrown out at first, but gets Krukenberg over to second. Krukenberg only at second now, unlike in the second inning where he was at third, but 1 on, 1 out for Brady Bly.
Comets will take it. I mean, Stroud on the year only hitting 193. He's not the best contact guy, but doing a great job just stepping into this role, bunting, fielding a pretty good game as well, and just doing what the team needs him to do.
Here is Brady Bly now. Catcher for this team. Bly lines one. Richard on his way back. He's a center fielder. That goes back. That's behind him. Krukenberg will score. Bly's on his way to second. He'll be held up at second. RBI double Brady Bly. Comets lead 3-0 now on the top of the fourth. What is with these Comets hitters, Evan?
I don't know. They're just coming motivated. They shot out of a cannon today. I don't know what it is, Ben. Might be the jerseys, black pinstripes. I don't know.
Look good, play good maybe, but.
At first I thought Richard, it was just going to be like a deep fly ball, but that ball really carried and ended up hitting that 385 sign wall in center. So the farthest hit ball of the day comes from the catcher, Brady Bly.
Here's Kevin West. He swings at strike one. And Richard, usually outfielders, their first step is back no matter where the ball is. Richard came in almost as if he knew it was short. So I think he misread that. That may be the reason it got behind him. But a very well hit ball by Bly. And West lays down a perfectly placed bunt. And he'll get to first with no throw. Runners on the corners for the Comets. What a bunt from Kevin West.
I know like a lot of announcers like say this analogy like everything's going right for the Comets, but literally every single thing has gone right for the Comets in this game. I mean, they've made great plays defensively. They've gotten some hard outs, but when the Comets have hit the ball hard, they've found the gaps. They've bunted well. They're playing good small ball. Grula's striking people out and pitching well. And it's really been a perfect game so far. And Brendan Grula does have a perfect game. 9 up, 9 down after 3 as well. And there's going to be a pitching change.
Yep, that'll be the day for Huber. A substitution. Huber goes 3 1/3 with 3 earned runs. Comets lead 3-0 now.
And it could be a 4th earned run if Bly's able to score on third. And Huber on the year, he's pitched 50 innings with a 1.4 ERA, 44 strikeouts, the junior. And that's just not what we really expected from him.
Ladies and gentlemen, pitching change.
And the pitching change for the Crusaders will be Ryan Benny, senior relief pitcher for Moeller. He's going to be tasked with keeping those 2 men on the corners. There's still runners on first and third with only 1 out. Comets still in business.
Yeah, Benny on the year. He's been that guy that they usually go to when they have a lead, but putting him in here in this winner go home game. He's pitched in 10 games, 19 innings. He's 1-0, 3 saves on the year, 28 strikeouts with a 1.47 ERA. He's got a big arm. But the Comets have hit Huber very well, and I mean, Toby Huber's had a great year, so that's very impressive from these Comets hitters.
Yeah, Huber was 9-0. I mean, when you have an offense like Moeller, it's a little easier to have a record like that, but there's nothing not impressive about having an undefeated season, and his first loss could come. Right now he's in line for his first loss of the season at the worst point in the season, the regional finals. We'll see what Ryan Benny can do now with runners on the corners. Not only runners on the corners, but the lineup is flipped over to Brendan Garula to lead off the inning.
Yeah, it's always tough to be a relief pitcher coming into these situations when you're not fresh at all, having to come in with men on base. Especially, like you said, top of the lineup and not super warm. I mean, he came in out of the bullpen, but like against your first live batter, it's definitely hard to pitch as the Comets will get a pinch runner in. That's going to be Casey Donor for Brady Bly. Of course, Brady Bly is able to come back into the game, but you are allowed to
re-enter once.
Yep. You re-enter once. Every player is allowed to, and that's something that's a little different from the MLB, but really adds kind of another element to the game and a lot of kind of extra strategy.
So Garula now with runners on the corner and one out. Going to try to help himself out pitching-wise. A pitch with a little less pressure.
Now we mentioned Huber's a D1 baseball commit going to George Mason out of the Atlantic 10, so there's definitely no pushover on the mound. The Comets are just hitting the ball hard.
8 hits already tonight. That's through 3 1/3. They got 8 off Huber. First delivery to Brendan Garula. Fastball swung on and missed for strike one, and you could tell a change in velocity already between Huber and Benny. And so 1 on him. Benny taking his time, keeping West in check at first. West has a lot of speed. The 0-1's drilled over the second baseman's head. Donor will score. That's a 4th run for the Comets. Into third is Kevin West. He'll be held at third. An RBI single. Brendan Garula. Comets keep hitting.
A great swing by Garula again. Hard contact. Hard contact. Usually he's going to get through the hole and just, wow. I'm speechless, Ben. I mean, this is a game that was supposed to be very low scoring. The Comets 4 runs with 9 hits and still looking for more with only 1 out.
And this is especially surprising the way the offense played last night. There must have been some wake-up call, and that wasn't too long. That was less than 24 hours ago. That one going into 11 innings. Here's A.J. Lefton. Comets once again runners in the corner with 1 out. First pitch to him is low in the dirt for ball 1.
That's pretty impressive. Comets played 11 innings yesterday. Moeller had a game where they kind of dominated Fairfield. The Comets played that second game at 5, so they have to come in basically 19 hours later and play the Crusaders, so not an easy turnaround.
Runner takes off Garula for second, and he will be in there with a stolen base. Second and third, now 2 in scoring position. Still only 1 out for A.J. Lefton, and that's big because that eliminates the double play ball. And that pitch was a ball, so 2-0 count now on Lefton.
Yeah, Garula just showing his versatility. A 6-tool player for the Comets. Steal, pitch obviously, hit for power, contact, and just great to have a guy like that. That's his 11th stolen base on the year, which leads the team.
And you didn't even mention his fielding, which is what saved the Comets game last night.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's a tool I was forgetting. I only named 5 out of the 6, I think.
And there was a meeting on the mound here from the Crusaders just to calm Benny down. The first batter he faced was an RBI single, and now he's down 2-0 on Lefton. Lefton steps back into the box.
Yeah, Lefton singled his last time up, looking to do the same. That could get 2 more in.
2-0, Lefton's going to swing at a high fastball. That's a nice pitch and nice placement there from Benny right on the outside corner. Just caught part of the zone anyway, and it's 2-1 now. Second and third for Lefton. Already has a base hit tonight and a walk. Senior second baseman Thomas Jefferson commits, squares around to bunt, but that's outside, pulls it back, and he's got a hitter count now 3-1.
Yeah, the bunt there probably wasn't going to go through with it, just trying to confuse the defense a little bit, trying to catch some of these Crusaders fielders off guard.
So it's a 3-1 now. Dangerous position for Lefton. And Lefton's going to sky one into right field. Right field going, that's going to be out of play, but he got a hold of that one. All the way to the fence in foul territory. And that runs the count full now, 3-2. And Lefton will step in again against Benny. Benny has taken his time on the mound, a little different from Huber and Garula, the two starters for Mason. And now he sets the payoff. Inside, ball for Lefton with his second walk of the day. That fastball just missed, and the Comets have ducks on the pond now.
Yeah, that's not horrible for Benny in that situation, but you'd like to get the out there 3-2. Now it opens up the double play ball, but Jake Hanley struggled a little bit with a couple of fielders' choices, but this is a great opportunity for him to kind of break a slump here. Not a ton of pressure already with that 4-0 lead.
Bases are loaded now for Hanley. Yep, like you said, what a spot it would be to break a slump. They're going to call time. Hanley will get a chance to step back in. Lefton, Garula, and West on the base paths. Some good speed out there. First pitch of breaking ball just on the outside corner. Nice little slider there from Benny for strike one.
So this Comets team in the postseason, their game high in hits was against Hamilton. They got 10. Now they already have 9 against the 1-seeded Moeller, and we're not even halfway done with this game.
We're already in the
it's
fourth.
remarkable.
Yep. There's no one count on Hanley. Another slider in there. Exact same pitch. Hanley, not a big fan of that one, but it's 0-2 on him now. 2 strikes looking, and now he's got to protect.
If you're Murphy here, a strikeout could be better, or excuse me, Hanley, a strikeout could be better than a ground ball.
That could be a double play, yep. The 0-2 swung on right back at the pitcher, and that'd be what it is. They go home first and will not get the runner. I would have thought it might be better to go to second, and you would have had a chance at the double play, but they only get 1 out. But it is the runner coming home. Kevin West retired. Base is still loaded now.
I guess already down by 4 runs. Benny didn't want to take any chances. He wanted to ensure that they get that out of home, because if Hanley was able to get in there at first anyways, Comets would have gotten another run and made it 5-0. So it's kind of one of those what-ifs here, but now Michael Murphy, arguably the Comets' best hitter, has played like that today with a couple of singles, and great opportunity here with bases loaded and 2 outs.
This could be the biggest spot for him tonight. First pitch to him is a strike on the outside corner. Murphy didn't offer, it's 0-1. His third single could come in the biggest spot. The 0-1, a breaking ball lifted into right field, but shouldn't be any issue for the right fielder. That's out number 3, but the Comets played a couple more and lead 4-0 now. Heading into the bottom of the 4th. Stay with us for the rest of this one.
Leading off of the Moeller Crusaders, this center fielder.
Welcome back into Batavia, Ohio, the Midland Baseball Complex. Bottom half of the inning for the Crusaders. And C.J. Richard will get things started.
Comets up 4-0. The Crusaders still looking for their first hit after Brendan Gruel. It was a perfect game so far. 9 up, 9 down with a strikeout.
C.J. Richard, the leadoff hitter, popped up his first time up. And he'll look at strike number 1 on the inside corner. He's got a lot of speed. The 0-1's low, evens the count. Brendan's still trying to find his breaking ball.
So strikeouts are great in typical situations, but since Gruel hasn't gotten a ton, it's kept his pitch count pretty low all game, which could be huge and potentially allow him to go all 7.
Yeah, and there's his breaking ball on the outside corner. That's Gruela's best pitch, and now he's ahead in the count 1-2 on Richard. And Richard lines one over the head of Sulik. He'll get a leadoff single, and that's the first hit of the game for the Crusaders.
Very sharp contact there from Richard. Good 2-strike approach. Just got out in front, lined it into the gap, and maybe that will jumpstart this Moeller offense that just picked up their first hit.
And here's Toby Huber having a chance to make up for some of his miscues on the mound. He's batting .325 on the year, looks at ball 1 high. Richard, we've said it a couple times, now that he's on the base paths, he's dangerous with his speed. And this one's lined into right field, coming over is Krukenberg. Foul territory, makes the catch. Richard almost tagged from first to second, stays at first. That would have been dangerous from right field, but that's the first out of the inning. Another well-hit ball, that's an out for Moeller. Now there's 1 out, 1 on for Nate Early.
Yeah, luckily Krukenberg was able to track that one down. Shifted a little over toward right field because Huber being a lefty, but that's a nice play to track that one down, making it look easy there.
Here's Early. Richard does take off, but Early fouls it off his foot, and he's down. I think he's okay, able to get back up. It looked like in a lot of pain at first, but it's just an 0-1 count now.
Early got out on a ground ball to second his first time up.
So Gruel is ahead now, 0-1. Richard, a lot of speed on first, doesn't take off this time. That ball's low in the dirt, would have been a good one for Richard, but the count's even at 1-1.
Yeah, Richard coming this game with 20 stolen bases, so he'll run almost with every opportunity. A little bit tougher on Gruel, though, because he's a lefty.
Yep. Gruel, a little pickoff move, doing a little dance with Richard, going to take time to reset himself on the mound. Richard didn't even flinch. He's still off the base. The 1-1. Just caught the bottom part of the zone for strike 2. Another.
It's a good job by Gruel keeping his focus on the hitter. It's his first time all game having a man over there at first base, but he's doing a good job keeping his focus on Early and not getting too caught up by the antics on first by Richard.
So it's 1-2. He's ahead now. The pitch is fouled off out of play. Gruel will try to come back with a fastball in the top part of the zone. Early caught up to it.
Probably a breaking ball here, Ben, in this situation.
That's it. That's Gruel's strikeout pitch, and now that he just went with a fastball on the last one, his count's still 1-2. And it is a breaking ball, but Early able to foul that one off again. He's keeping Early on his feet, but a good job staying alive.
That slider just so hard to hit as a lefty. It looks like it's right over the plate, and it'll just go to the outside. So Early just got the knob of his bat just to stay alive there.
Early's going to take time to step off the mound. Count is still 1-2, but a fairly lengthy at bat for only a 1-2 count. We'll try it again. And Garula's just going to throw right back over to Richard. Richard, no tag even applied there. That's the thing. He's got a lot of speed, but he does not have a very big lead off first base. It's hard to with the lefty on the mound. And Garula. The 1-2, Garula comes home. That one's low, evens the count. Garula really can't let this at bat get away from him.
A little surprised Richard didn't take off on that pitch, especially 1-2. Probably expecting a breaking ball, less velocity, more time for Richard to get on over to second. But he didn't go there.
2-2. Fastball, that's hammered right up the middle. Taken by Sulik to throw on to first. Out, he stepped on second too. That's a double play for Anthony Sulik to get out of the inning.
That's the reason you steal, Ben, is to get out of situations like that. If Richard went on a breaking ball, that would have just been a play to first and they'd have a runner in scoring position. But a really good play by Sulik. He's not hitting today, but he sure is playing defense. And the Mason Comets lead 4-0 here through 4 innings. Only 3 more to go here from the Midland Baseball Complex. Welcome back to the Midland Baseball Complex as the Mason Comets have a 4-0 lead, only 3 innings to go as Alex Kelling will lead it off here for the Comets. Kelling is 0 for 2 with a double play and a ground out to third base. They'll take high for ball 2. So it's 2-0. Benny's still on the mound. the reliever for the Crusaders.
Yeah, of all the Comets that have really kind of broken through this game and played better than usual, Kelling still kind of in his cold spell. Was able to work a walk or two last night, but that was it.
And that's going to be a breaking ball. It's high inside corner, a very tough pitch for Kelling to hit, and he'll just look at that one for a strike. So it's 2-1 now on the Comets sophomore left fielder. And a pitch on the outside corner, and Kelling looks at that, so the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Benny has that really good slider that'll keep hitters guessing, especially with the velocity of his fastball. When you mix those two together, you get ahead in counts like he has in the last inning.
So righty on lefty here as Benny winds up to the lefty. Kelling barely gets a piece, just foul it back. Right, us and Ben, I think you flinch back a little bit on that one.
I think I would have been able to make that play, honestly. That is true. Dylan, our producer, telling me I don't have a glove. Sometimes I can bare hand that thing.
I'll believe that when I see it, Ben. I don't think so.
We'll have to go out to the field, a little sandlot game.
And Kelling, another foul ball, a little late on a fastball, dribble it down third base line. So working up the pitch count here for Benny.
And no matter what happens at this at-bat, it is still, I would say, a good at-bat for Kelling, keeping it alive, a couple of foul balls.
Here's the pitch. And Kelling will take the breaking ball on the outside corner. And a really good pitch from Benny. And he'll pick up a strikeout. And now it'll be Sean Krugerberg, the man of the hour, some might say. The man of the last hour and 10 minutes.
Yep, couple of runs scored, and he's led off a couple of innings with base hits. And Benny blows by him with a fastball.
Yeah, Krugerberg was swinging for the fences on that one, but that was a bullet there. Very fast pitch. It was right down the middle, but Krugerberg just a little late on it, so it will be 0-1. Now Benny delivers. Krugerberg lines that one up the middle to center field. So Sean Krugerberg, have a day.
And when it's your day, it's your day. And he is just seeing the ball well, and really good contact in all 3 base hits, but the placement is good too. Just doing whatever he can with the pitches he's given.
Now the second baseman Stroud up. Sacrifice bunts. Getting the job done all night long, and maybe they'll do it again here. Who knows?
With one out, maybe.
There's one out, so maybe not as likely.
And he's a good guy to have in that 7th spot when you got some guys in the middle of the lineup who can produce. And then Bly and West are producing to the back end of the lineup for the Comets, the 8 and 9 hitters.
Yeah, Bly almost hit a homer. One back over the head of Richard. Back in the 4th. Now we'll be 0-1 to the second baseman Stroud. Little dribbler over to third base. We'll throw on over to first, get the out. So it was slow enough contact, so they weren't able to get the double play. And it looked like they might for a second, but
it was good speed from Krugerberg too.
Yeah, Krugerberg is very fast on the base pass, but Schmidt kind of took his time a little bit, had to gather himself. So I guess that kind of works as a sacrifice bunt for Stroud.
Yep. I think he'd like it a little more if we put him in the scorebook as a sacrifice bunt. I don't think we can do that.
It's up to you, Ben. You have the power. You're the one writing it down right now.
No, I'm sorry, Stroud. I'm gonna have to go with a nice 5-3 there.
He did get the runner over. Quality at bat. 3 quality at bats for Nick Stroud.
I'll write in QAB with that too.
Now here's Bly. He's certainly had a quality at bat tonight as well.
Yep, last inning, RBI double with the runner on second. And like you said, that was almost a home run. That hit with the warning track, one hopper off the wall.
And that was the deepest part of the ballpark, too. Right at that 385 sign in center. Benny delivers. Bly will take the strike. Fastball down the middle there. And count will be 1-1.
Yeah, something that's changed between yesterday and today could be Lebanon threw a couple of lefties. Moeller, both of their pitchers have been righties so far tonight. Little different angle.
And the Comets have a lot of lefties in this lineup, so they've been able to kind of take advantage of that. Krukenberg, Bly, guys like that hit much better off of righties than they do lefties.
Yep.
And a high pitch there, and Bly will take it. So good eye from Brady Bly.
That rhymes.
It does rhyme.
Maybe you should go in the rapping industry.
That's you, Ben, with your Beef It Up with B stuff, your sixth grade SoundCloud rap album.
We might have to premiere that later on.
So 2-1. Bly will fly out to the left fielder, and that's going to be hauled in by Griff Cady. So the Comets don't get a run, but they do get runner on base. That's something they've done every inning. So we're going to take a quick break here in the middle of the fourth. You're listening to the regional finals, Mason Comets, Moeller Crusaders on Mason Sports Radio. Back in. It's a hit. We'll find that out later, but now the focus is on the catcher, Nate Manley, and Gruel will throw one in for strike one. The cleanup hitter, very good numbers all year, but he flew out to the center fielder, Kevin West, his first time up. He's 0 for 1. And I guess it looks like a 12 up, 12 down, but not quite, as Richard was able to get a single, but the Comets were able to get an unassisted double play from Anthony Sulik. And that breaking ball missed on the outside. 2-1 count to the righty catcher. Manley's got a lot of power. He leads his team with 4 home runs, but he'll take strike 2 here. And the Crusaders could sure use one of those right there. I mean, they could just use a base runner at this point. They need to get the inning starting off strong.
And last inning, they were able to get a leadoff base runner. Like you said, Richard got the first hit of the night for any Crusader. But it's that Mason defense combined with Garula.
And that's a shot into left field from Manley. But Statzer makes the play on the warning track. So the Crusaders have hit a couple balls pretty hard and pretty deep, but each time it seems like the Comets outfielders just have been in the right position.
There's a lot of pop on that bat from Manley, and it seemed like a little bit of an effortless swing. He has so much strength and power. 21 RBI on the year, leads the team with 4 home runs on the year. Luckily, Statzer was able to get under that one.
Now here's Niehaus. He flew out to Krukenberg back in the 2nd inning. And a nice breaking ball from Garula kind of freezes the Crusaders shortstop for strike 1.
That was a little questionable call, but Garula gets favored.
And Niehaus will line this one the other way, and that will be down in right field. He'll stop. And go to second now as Krukenberg slips. So that will be a single and an error as Krukenberg had it. He slips, and Niehaus was slowing up, but he stretched a single into a double. Probably going to be ruled a single with an error there. That's really the first defensive mistake of the game the Comets have made, and the first mistake that Sean Krukenberg's made all game. He's done a lot of great things, but unfortunately just not able to haul that one in cleanly. And now here's Schmidt coming up, the 300 hitter and third baseman for this Moeller team.
Yeah, Krukenberg has a lot of speed, and that one may have got to the wall, but he was so fast able to cut it off, and then it was the stumble that was able to get Manley over to second.
He almost overran the ball a little bit.
Yep.
Not able to slow down, and again a similar spot as Schmidt will line it over, and Krukenberg makes a nice running catch there.
And you can see him talking to the fans a little bit. I'm not sure if that's friendly with Mason or some Moeller fans, but a leaping catch there from Sean Krukenberg, athleticism, and no better way to make up for a mistake you made in the previous play.
I was confused for a second because Niehaus over there at second, it looked like he left like very early. Like I mean, apparently he got the tag in time, but it looked like he left the base early. Saw Sulik just touch second base just for the heck of it, but didn't work. So he'll be over there at third. So Krukenberg really making up for his error. In the very next play, makes a leaping catch and just shows the confidence that number 29 has. He's able to make a mistake, but has a short memory, moves past it, then just makes a spectacular play, ranging back.
Well, it's the offense and the defense for the Comets, I'll tell you what.
It will be low pitch there from Garula. So the first time the Crusaders have had a runner in scoring position all game and an RBI opportunity for Griff Cady, the left fielder. And Garula going to be taken inside for ball 2. And Cady was the only strikeout victim all game for Garula.
Garula hasn't really worked in a whole lot of these situations today. This is the first runner in scoring position tonight for Moeller.
Now the pitch inside. Cady takes it, and it will be strike 2. It's the count even at 2-2. Garula needs one more pitch to get out of the bottom of the 5th here with his team up by 4 runs. He sets and fires. And that's a hard hit ball to the shortstop, Sulik. High bounce, not able to field it cleanly. That will run into center field. Niehaus scores. Katie to first, and the first run of the day for the Moeller Crusaders.
Yeah, that's a hard play for Sulek to make. That was a very hard hit ball there. And he got his feet underneath of it. It just took a bad bounce off his chest. That's going to go down as an error for him, but that play is a lot easier. Or it's not a whole lot easier than it looks. I'll say it.
Yeah, I think they're going to rule that an error, but for Sulek, yeah, very tough play, just those unpredictable bounces sometimes. And that will be Connor Christensen, the 8-hole hitting second baseman. And he grounded out Stroud last time up. And Grulla trying to limit the damage here. Now a 3-run game. 4-1 Comets, bottom of the 5th. 2 outs. Grulla looks over at Katie on first. And it will just be fouled off by Christensen. So he's in a hole here now with 2 strikes. Grulla just trying to just get out of the 5th. 1 more strike. That's all he needs.
And Garula, you can start to see how valuable those insurance runs are that Mason got in that 4th inning.
Now Garula sets and fires, and that will be a slower shortstop. This time to Sulek. He'll fire over for first in time to get Christensen out. So Sulek to Hanley will end the 5th inning, and a good job again by the Comets offensively. Krukerberg made an error, he made up for it. Sulek made an error, then he made up for it. The Comets, Crusaders get a run, but the Comets still take a lead. Now Ben Howard coming back play-by-play at the top of the 6th inning.
West.
And we're in the 6th inning now. Comets 6 outs away from heading to Akron, but they're at the plate right now facing Ryan Benny, who came in relief. He's still on the mound, and he'll face the bottom of this Comet lineup, the 9 spot, Kevin West. First pitch to him gets away from the catcher. Luckily for him, no one on base. That's ball 1. Breaking pitch got in the dirt. It's a 1-0 count now. The 1-0 fastball outside corner. That's strike number 1. That's a good looking pitch from Benny. Counts even. The 1-1 grounded right to the third baseman. A tough play for him to make the spin and got the out in time. A nice play over at third base. From Schmidt.
Stepping to the plate, the pitcher, number 5.
And we turn it over back to the beginning of the lineup for the Comets. Brendan Garula coming to the plate. 1 out and no one on. Garula singled his first time up today. He would then strike out and then single again. 2 base hits on the night. And he's pitched a pretty good game so far as well. That one just caught a piece of the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, that single to lead out the game, Ben, was so huge. Because Garula really got the momentum going early. They say hitting's contagious, and that's been true for the Comets so far this game.
1-1 count. Garula fouls that right over to third base. That one's out of play. Kurt Bly couldn't quite make the play over there, third base coach. Let's ask him about that one after the game. But it's 1-2 now on Garula.
And Benny's done a pretty good job in relief, has not given up a run yet, because the one that Comets scored and he was in would be charged to the starter, Huber, not him.
1-2, that one a high fastball. Garula able to get a piece of it, fouled off into the net. Count stays.
This pitch count is getting pretty high, though, for a reliever. I mean, this is a guy who's only worked 19 innings in 10 appearances, so he's not used to, he's more that closer role, so doesn't really quite have the stamina as these starters for the Crusaders do.
The 1-2 pitch is low in the dirt. Moeller fans unhappy about that call, but it looks like that one is a little too low, and the count's even now at 2. Benny deals. Garula able to check his swing. They appeal down. They will say he did not go.
Yeah, good job by Garula. Those curve balls can be deceiving, but luckily for him, just able to get the check swing and stay alive here.
So he's done a good job working this count full now, 3-2. There's one out in the inning. No one on. The deal to Garula. Drills that into left field. That one just a little foul over the fence in foul territory. That ball got out of here in a hurry.
Yeah, that, no doubt, the hardest hit ball of the day. I'd love to see the exit velocity on that one, but
just off the bat.
A little bit out in front, and hopefully those fans over in left field were paying attention, because that was a rocket.
I'm worried about my car parked over there in left field, too. Count is still full. Benny the payoff. Breaking pitch high. Brandon Garula will take his base.
Well, Ben, unless you kind of parked far away, you kind of made us walk a little bit. So unless Garula would hit one like 550, 600, then I think your car is going to be okay.
Well, I'll tell you, I do that, so situations like that, my car is okay. So you sacrificing a little walking extra maybe saved me a couple $100 in damages. Or Garula a couple $100 in damages.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
like
what the
Reds
rule is
game.
on that.
If you hit Ben's car, then you get a free car. So you get Ben's car. If any Mason Comet or Moeller
I'm not agreeing to that.
Ben's car, it's like 600 feet away. They can keep the good old Honda.
I don't know if I'll agree to that. We'll have to talk about that one after the game. But now it's AJ Lefton after the walk. Runner on first, one on, one out. Lefton today has a couple of walks and a single. He's been hot. Had a pretty good game yesterday as well. Scored the game-winning run on a wild pitch last night in the 11th inning. First pitch to him is strike 1.
Yeah, he's not a super flashy player, but just always gets the job done. I mean, single, couple walks, just gets on base, moves runners over, doesn't make many errors defensively, can play multiple positions, second, short, and third. Just a good guy, good utility guy you like to have on your team.
The 0-1 pitch is outside. They throw down to first to try to get Garula, but one count now. One on, one out for left, and they check over again. And he's safe again. I believe that's a pinch runner, A.J. Laughlin over there at first base. They're going to try to re-enter Garula, I'd assume. And Lefton skies this one into the air. That one won't leave the infield foul territory. First baseman coming over and makes the grab for out number 2. And the runner's forced to stay at first.
And not a bad swing from Lefton there. Got a little under it, and routine play for early over there at first. And now Jake Hanley will step in the box, who has 3 fielder's choices in this game. And he'd really like to see one go through the hole and turn that into a single. I mean, it's a lot better than 0 for 3 or 3 strikeouts. He's making contact, just unfortunately just hitting it to the wrong spots.
The throw over to first base. Laughlin kept in check. Hanley at the plate now. And we've been talking about he needs to break out of his slump soon. Fastball fired in there for a strike. Strike number 1 of the AB.
And again, Benny's velocity hasn't really decreased throughout this game. He's throwing as hard as he was when he first entered in the 4th as he is now. And Hanley will not go around. Appeal to the third base umpire says Hanley did not go.
That was a close one. Moeller fans unhappy with that. We saw a couple controversial check swing calls last night, but the count will be even at 1 for Hanley. 1 on, 2 out. Breaking pitch just catches the bottom part of the zone.
Got a little sarcastic cheer from this Crusaders crowd. They're not happy about the strike calls all game, and Hanley will look at that one there. Now he's got 2 strikes on him, has to protect.
2 strikes on Hanley, 1 and 2. Betty trying to get out of the inning, and Hanley's able to foul one back into the net. Count stays.
I mean, that's the bread and butter there from Benny, is that high fastball. That's what he goes to on 2 strikes. It is very hard to catch up on. And Hanley doing a good job just getting a piece of it there. Just able to see another pitch.
So we'll try it again. This time a breaking ball just a little low, evens the count at 2. And called a ball by the umpire. Hanley's still alive.
And not an easy take there from Hanley with 2 strikes, but a really good job. His great vision at the plate. So it's what really makes him a complete hitter for this Comets team.
Yep. 2 and 2, the count on Hanley. Benny sets and throws. That one's just a little high. Count is run full now. A fastball that couldn't quite find the zone. So runner will go here. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Benny against Hanley. 2 of the best players in the city, and a 1 seed and 2 seed. The payoff. Runner goes. That one's low. Hanley will take first base. And maybe that's a little bit of a confidence booster. Just anything to get on base for him.
Yeah, just kind of lost him there. Great at bat by Hanley. It all started when he was able to kind of handle that high fastball, foul it off, and then Benny tried to change his approach, go to the breaking ball. But it didn't really work. He threw a couple in the dirt, and just like that, the Comets now have 2 on.
And another dangerous hitter up to the plate for the Comets. It's Michael Murphy. He's walked twice and singled once tonight. And he skies that one into foul territory, calling it off as a first baseman. That's the out number 3. Comets get a couple of base runners, but leave them stranded. They're 6 outs away from heading to Akron. 4-1, Comets lead. Bottom of the sixth, a couple more chances for Moeller. Comets lead 4-1. Brendan Garula takes the mound again. And he'll face Daniel, the
nine-hitter, Keelan Daniel.
Yep.
Only his second at-bat. Shows how dominant this Comets defense has been. He flew out to the left fielder Kelling his first time up.
He's got a 1-2 count on him now. Garula still on the mound for his 6th inning of work. Worked very well through 5. 1-2 breaking ball right at the second baseman. Stroud fields that cleanly. Throw in timeout number 1. And we're at the top of the lineup back here for Moeller.
5 outs away, Benjamin.
But it'll be a tough 5 outs for Brendan Garula. It's the top of the Moeller's lineup now. You see a lot of firepower there. And Richard, Huber, Early, Manley, and Niehaus.
Yeah, and Richard has the only hit of the game for the Crusaders. A single back in the 4th inning.
Garula first dealt to Richard, fouls that one right back into the net. A little slow dribbler. Strike 1.
Yeah, Richard very early on that breaking ball. And good job by Garula. I mean, a lot of pitchers like to go to their fastball on the first pitch, but Garula that's what makes him so good, is he's so deceptive. You never know what he's doing on the mound.
Breaking pitch is low in the dirt for ball 1. Counts even now on Richard. Lefty-righty matchup favorable for C.J. Richard. The 1-1 is drilled into the outfield. Going back is West. That's to the warning track. West does get under it, though, and that is another hard hit out for Moeller. That's the 2nd out, and we're now 4 outs away, Evan. Coming up to the plate is Huber.
And Richard is hitting the ball well all game long. He's hitting it hard, but just, man, if that fence was like 380 instead of 385, we could be looking at a 4-2 ball game.
Yep. It's a frustrating game for Richard for sure. The only hit for Moeller. And now Huber fouls off the first pitch fastball.
Huber 0 for 2 with a grounder to Sulik at short and a pop-up to Krukeberg in right. And he also gave up 4 runs with 3 1/3 innings of work.
That one's lined right at Anthony Sulik for out number 3. A quick bottom of the 6th inning for Brendan Garula. Comets 3 outs away from heading to Akron.
Game changers, the official scorekeeping in
Welcome back. The Comets lead the Crusaders 4-1. And the top of the 7th, only 1 inning to go. And that'll be Mikey Statzer hitting for the Comets, trying to get some insurance runs here.
It's a straight-up substitution, and left field Statzer coming in for Alex Kelling. Alex Kelling exits tonight 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a couple of groundouts.
And Statzer on the year only has 3 at-bats, and he's got a run but not a hit to go along with a stolen base. So he's 0 average, 250 OBP, but let's see what he can do in this situation. Great opportunity here to improve his confidence as a hitter. And he'll line that one out to center field. Richard on the run. He'll call for it. And that'll be the first out of the inning. But pretty good contact there from Statzer for his first at-bat of the game.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to come into a game. You haven't seen any pitches yet, and you get a really good pitcher in like Carson Marsh. It's always tough to come in.
Yeah, Marsh this year has gone 24.2 innings, 39 strikeouts, a 1.14 ERA, so his stats have been solid all year long as well. And his job is just to keep that Comet lead at 3. And Krukeberg will take for a strike, and the good old 29 on 29. Marsh and Krukeberg.
That's a rare number to see going at it.
You not see that one every day, folks. And Krugerberg will line that one foul, a little behind on the fastball. So now he's in a hole now with 2 strikes off the end of the bat. A little bit late, but he's had a monster day at the plate all day long. I know we touched on that. And a breaking ball, and kind of comes out of the hand awkwardly for Marsh, way outside.
Hey, you talk about guys just needed to get on base for the Comets, and what a way to get on base. 3 base hits, a couple of singles and a double.
Just needs a triple and a home run for the cycle.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 7th inning, so I think if you're the Comets, considering what needs to happen for that to happen,
yeah,
I think they're okay with
yeah,
not
I would
getting
think
the cycle.
we not want Krukeberg to get the cycle. But unfortunately, he'll strike out there. Marsh bringing the heat, the high fastball there, and he'll pick up his first strikeout, and that will be the 2nd out of the inning. And now here comes the second baseman, Nick Stroud.
That's good stuff from Marsh. And Marsh brings something that's a lot different from the first pitchers that we saw from Moeller. He's a little more of a high-speed, high-velocity kind of pitcher.
And it will be a high fly ball, and it'll be caught by the left fielder, Katie, on the first pitch to Stroud, but don't go anywhere, folks. The Comets need 3 more outs to go to the state Final Four.